Hello, hello. It's Julie Davison from JulieDavison.com. It's Thursday. I'm so excited to stamp with you tonight. If I'm 100% honest, I'm 100% exhausted, but I'm still excited to stamp with you tonight. I feel like it's been a long week. I can't believe it's already Thursday. Today broke the streak 392 days. So today broke that 392-day streak. All four of my children went to school in person today for the first time in 392 days. Oh, it's been a crazy 392 days. Two of my kids did go back in person a month or two ago, and my high schoolers, now that they're opening back up to 4-day in person, are back to school for the first time today, and their high school is undergoing some major renovations, so they went back to a school that they hardly recognize. So it was interesting. They said to try to make their way around and find their classes, and I had to laugh because I asked, how it was to see everybody in person. And they said that some of their teachers looked really different. Like, they see them on Zoom every single day. And they said some of them looked older and some of them looked younger than they did on Zoom. So I think that's kind of funny. Anyway, it has been a long week, and I'm so excited to stamp with you today. I am still just so floored at these amazing deals that Stampin' Up! Has. We've got this new catalog coming out, and I've been so busy that I have not had a chance to make anything else to share another quick look with you tonight. So unfortunately, nothing new tonight, but I'm diving in to show you my favorite deals on the last chance list, because I seriously cannot believe some of these amazing prices. And so I really just wanted to highlight some of those favorite things so that you can take advantage of these deals before they're gone, because these are like clearance rack price deals, and they're not even on the clearance rack. They're still current. And the big thing about the clearance rack is we almost never see stamp sets on the clearance rack. And so I want to point that out, because there are a lot of dies right now that are super, super, super cheap. And if you wait until they're on the clearance rack, then you're not going to be able to get the stamps that go with them. And for some of these dies, like, the dies don't make sense without the stamps. So get the dies and the stamp sets now while they're super cheap and while you can get the stamp sets to match, because otherwise, I know you guys, I know you're going to end up on eBay. I get these questions all the time. I got these dies, but I need this stamp set. So you have to look at these dies really good now, because you can still get the stamp sets that go with them. Okay, so don't miss this chance. And holy macaroni, like, look at these. Dino dies, $14. Budding blooms, $8.25. What? What are some of these other amazing deals? Lasting Elegance, another $8.50. Like, seriously crazy prices. I'm so sad that these are going away. If you don't have them yet, you definitely should consider. It's not a crazy clearance rack price, but it's on sale, and these are awesome dies, and they're while supplies last. Magnolia Memory dies, $8.75. The stamp set is not on sale, but it's retiring. So again, you want to make sure that you get the stamp set to go with that. So make sure to check out Wild Rose. And I think that stamp set is also on sale a little bit. So today I'm going to focus on, what am I going to show you? Let me show you what I'm going to show you, and then we're going to dig in and just make some cards. I'm going to use the Floral Elegance stamp set. Crazy. I'm going to use the punch that coordinates with that. This one here. Crazy. Like, seriously, a stamp set and a punch for $18. It's ridiculous. I'm going to use these world map dies. What? The other things that go with that suite are this paper, the World of Good designer paper, and the antiqued corner and slides. Guys, it's nuts. So we're going to make some masculine cards. I'm going to use, I keep coming back to this, but I love that Artistry Blooms paper. It's so pretty. So we're going to use some of that. We're going to use some of this. We're going to use some of that. Oh, the brass foil. That goes with the World of Good. Oh my gosh. And these punches. Hello, these punches. I just cannot believe the crazy sales. Okay. Leave me a comment. I'm not seeing comments apparently, but leave me a comment and let me know. I want to know what are you excited about? What are you getting that you're super excited about? And if we have some time tonight, like what's something off this list that you want to see? And maybe I'll come up with a last minute project because you guys know I always, I'm always last minute. All right, let's bring out some of that Artistry Blooms designer paper. I'm loving that we have like these back sides. Guys, look at this. Like they're so beautiful. Aren't they just insane? I hardly even want to cut them. They're just so pretty. So what I did is I did cut them. I cut this one, and I made a card front, and then we're going to stamp some of the flowers. So let's, let me put this on the floor. I have my stuff kind of ready to go. Here's the stamp set that goes with it, Floral Essence. And this did coordinate with the leaf punch. It has retired. It's not current anymore. But you might have it at home already. Gosh, I really was hoping, I'm trying to get these comments to pop up. I'm just not seeing anything. I hate when this happens. Hold on, let's see if I can. Nope. Okay, I don't know. Keep trying. If I can't see the comments while I'm live, maybe I'll be able to see them after. Oh, there we go. Yay! Where did I get that print out? Which printout? Oh, this one. Dark. I made this one. I'm going to link to it in the description of the video when we're all done. I had a quick link and I forgot to write it down. But yes, I made this flyer so that you could see all the things that are on sale because it's so much easier to see all the deals. So you can get this. I'm going to add it to the description of the video when we're all done. And it's also on it's linked up on my blog and everywhere, which my blog is juliedavison.com/ well, just juliedavison.com is my blog. Shop is where you get to the online store to get all of those deals. Okay. Oh, I saw a few, I'm seeing some comments come through. Oh, and don't let me forget, let's just do it right now. I saw Jan's comment about the circle punches, and so I was reminded about mail call. Let's do a quick mail call. This is how my week's been going. I feel so scattered. Like, I feel like I'm just like a squirrel, you know, like I think of something and then I divert my attention. I think of something else and I divert it back. Like, oh my gosh, it's just been that kind of week. Okay. Oh, Robin says, I love how excited you get about this stuff on sale. Okay, but seriously, it's exciting. Like, these prices are ridiculous. Ridiculous. I love a good sale, don't you guys? Like, how many times do you buy stuff just because it's on sale? Like, really, really good on sale. I do. I'm guilty. Okay, let's focus again. Mail call. I got 3 cards in the mail this week. One of them was from Jan. And so she reminded me I want to show you this. So I just love this Hey Chick. So I was going to do a Hey Chick card tonight and then I got sidetracked with these awesome sale things. Maybe we'll break out Hey Chick. If not, maybe next week. This is the corner flip card. I love that, that Janice did this one. And then this is my favorite part. These die cuts. I still have not die cut all the corn, but the corn and the sign, all of this is in the chick dies that coordinates with the Hey Chick. So Jan, thank you so much for this cute card. Like, it totally made my day to open this up for me. I love it, love it, love it. And I will get that punch ring template in the mail for you tomorrow. This card also arrived today from Janet Casto. Oh my gosh, the succulents have been on my mind because I'm thinking I might feature this bundle for Stamp of the Month Club. What do you guys think? Would you like to see more cards with the Simply Succulents? This is in the mini catalog and it's such a beautiful stamp set. I love the little detailed die cuts and she's got it almost feels like textured on there. Oh, she embossed. It looks like she embossed the pot and did some Stampin' Blends in the background. Like, so fun. Then we got the Wink of Stella on there. Forgot to open up. Yes, there is something on the inside. I love that she thought of that too. Jenna, thank you so much for your card. I am feeling better. Last week I was really, well, Thursday I was feeling great, and then for the quick look videos I was not feeling so hot, but I'm feeling better. Still just like tiny little congested, but much better. And this card, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. What a surprise. This one is from Sue Zastro, and I love the daisies. This is just, and the blues. This is such a fun card. Sue, thank you so much. You really made my day. I think she's got a little stamping on the inside there too. So thank you, Sue, for thinking of me and sending a card. All these cards are so wonderful, and it makes me feel so loved. I know you guys are sending cards to your friends and family, and they feel just the same way. So loved to get your cards in the mail. So keep sending them. I was thinking today, so the part of the craziness this week is that I've been just running around with the kids, like driving them to school, picking them up, and then they're in so many activities, jazz band and basketball and softball and archery. And so I've just been running around. Like Tuesday, literally, I did 6 or 7 round trips, and then my husband came home and took over for the last 3. Like, that's how crazy it was. It was like every hour I was leaving the house to take somebody. I literally got nothing done, and that's just how I feel the week has gone. So soon, very soon, my son will get his driver's license, and then I think things will be a little easier because he'll be able to help with the driving. Okay, this is the punch that coordinates with the floral essence, so we're going to use that tonight. And then this one is the Label Me Lovely punch, and I really love it. It's going to carry over. This one is not retiring, but it is one of my favorites. I love the fun shape. So it's kind of like a circle, but it's just a little fun, a little more decorative. So we're going to use this for the label on our card. But first, let's get out the paper. I've got Blackberry Bliss for the card base. And this is the piece of the Artistry Blooms that, oh no, this one is the one I pre-cut for the card base. And so that's going to go like this, and then this is the one we're going to stamp and punch the flowers on. Then I've got a piece of Calypso Coral. It's 2.5 by 4 1/4. Little bit of the vellum squares. This is really fun. I don't use these as much as I should, but I felt like this card needed just a little something, and so I tucked a half of the vellum square behind this piece. So I'll show you how that comes together. And then this is for the inside because we have such a dark card. I wanted to remember to do that. Oh, this is for the greeting. I'm forgetting all the things that I prepped. Let's start. We're going to stamp a background here. We've got this big flower image from the Floral Essence stamp set. And I'm stamping this in Calypso Coral ink on this Calypso Coral cardstock. And I really was struggling a little with trying to figure out what colors to use with this designer paper, because the way that it blends, it's not like fully one color or another. Actually, this one really looks close to the new Pale Papaya. That would have been really pretty to break out. Maybe I should just do it. Let's grab that. Here's the Pale Papaya. Oh, that is pretty. I don't know. I kind of like the darker one. We're going to use the darker one. I've already stamped it. It's ready to go. Okay, let's close up Calypso Coral. Actually, let's keep it open, and maybe we'll just stamp, let's just do like a flower down here while we have it out. Do you guys stamp your envelopes too to match your cards? I often make my cards, and I like not at the same time that I send them, so I don't usually do envelopes to match, but I always think like I should do it, and then I should just store the card with the envelope, and then it would be ready to go. Okay, Julie, just grab an envelope and do it. Oh, I feel so this is my life. Like, I just think of things, and then I don't know. I'm all over the place. Let's add one here in the front. Oh almost got too much energy, but I also need more sleep. How is that possible? Okay. We did this. We're going to punch that out, and let's add one. This is for the inside. Let's just put one down here too. And I'm just going to like stamp it twice. So I didn't need to punch it out. You can still stamp it twice and layer like that. And then for the inside, this says, all days are beautiful that begin with you. I didn't put it on a block, but let's do this for the inside. It says, with friendly thoughts and best wishes today and every day. Now, I'm just going to warn you, the Blackberry Bliss does tend to stain your stamps. So if you feel like you just, oh, I almost rocked that. If you feel like you can't get it clean and it's like pink, that's normal, but it still stamps just fine in any color. That's going to be for the inside. While we're stamping, let's do the label for the front. All days are beautiful that begin with you. And we'll close up our Blackberry. Blackberry. That reminds me of the little Blackberry phones, right? Were they phones? Did you have a Blackberry? I never did. I held out on those kind of phone. I held out on cell phone for a really long time. And then I held out on a smartphone for a really long time. Just wasn't a priority for me. Okay. All clean. I remembered to get my chamois wet. Yay! Let's punch now. We're going to punch the sentiments. I'm leaving a little bit of space like on the side so the flower can overlap there. And then we're going to use that perennial flower punch. Again, crazy sale, guys. Do not miss this one. It's kind of a fun, like little tri-petal. And then you layer it. Isn't that pretty when it's layered? Okay, let's move our scraps. I feel like I've just got so much going on here. Let's try to bring it all together now. We have an envelope. We have an inside. We have an outside. We have a layer. We have a label. Maybe like that. We have a vellum. And we have a card base. And we have a flower. Let's do these flowers with dimensionals. I laid out a new package. I feel like every week I open a new package and I don't know where they go. I just use them, I guess. You guys have seen me. What do you mean you don't know where they go? On your card. I get a little crazy with the Stampin' Dimensionals, but I can't help it. I like to pop things up. Okay, there's the front. We're going to do this. Now, I didn't mention about this when I stamped it, but when I stamp like a background like this, I try to do like a triangle, right? So I stamp one. I also always stamp off the edge. So I do like a triangle. That keeps things kind of evenly spaced. You don't need to fill up every little spot, but just remember the triangle. And no matter how big your thing is, just do the triangle up and down, however you want to fill up the space. Oh, this is so pretty. I love this paper. This is the Artistry Blooms designer paper. Isn't this pretty? Oh, yes. I want to add some ribbon. And so I brought in the Blackberry Bliss ribbon. This is actually from the Ice Cream Corner Suite in the mini catalog. And at first I was going to grab a piece of cardstock and do like a little strip. And then I remembered we had this Blackberry Bliss ribbon, and I thought that would be really pretty to bring the blackberry color back in. So I'm just gonna do like a little fold over like so. And my favorite way to hold a ribbon down, you guys know, is a little piece of tear and tape. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to do it right here. That's good. Okay, I'm going to do dimensionals on the back of the label, 1, 2, 3. And that's going to go there. And then, oh yes, I love that. I've got a dimensional on the top one, so I'm thinking I just want to do some regular adhesive on the bottom. And see how I left that space there? Now the petals of the flower can kind of come and overlap that label and not be covering up the words. See? I was thinking ahead. These feel a little long. I'm just going to give it a quick trim. That feels a little bit more balanced. All right, now I'm going to change my mind because I'm allowed to as a woman. I was going to use some of these gold glitter enamel dots. They're part of the last chance list, so they're retiring. But I really want to use the Artistry Bloom sequins. These are they're going to carry over, but they go so well with the designer paper. Like, I just love them. So I'm breaking those out. Let's put these gold ones away. There are some retiring embellishments here on the list. Just a few that are on sale. And the ones that are on sale are awesome prices. So make sure to check those out. But sometimes, you got to go with what matches. So the Artistry Blooms sequins coordinate specifically with the paper. So that's why I'm just thinking the color. Oh my God, yes. Now I have 2 packages combined here. You get 4 sheets and they're different colors. There's like a coral and then like a lighter yellow and then the light blue and the purple. So like I said, I do have two packages combined in that I'm using. So I'm going to use the darker, like the coral one, and we're going to add some sequins. Oh my God, yes, yes, so pretty. And we need a third. We'll do it down here. Oh yeah. See, the gold ones are pretty, but I just love that little sparkle. Oh, this turned out so nice. I love it. Okay, I'm going to have to shove that in later. All right, let me move this box out of the way. This is a very feminine card. And so next I want to turn and do some masculine cards. I was really surprised. Let me grab that catalog. I was really kind of surprised that the World of Good suite completely retired because it was brand new, 24 and 26, brand new in this catalog that came out last summer. And I think it's so awesome for masculine cards. So let me just show you really quick what's in this suite. First of all, we've got like memories and more cards, and those are always really fun, like the little pocket memory cards. The designer paper, I expected that to retire. But the stamp set and the dies I really thought would carry over. And then, where is it? Where's the embossing folder? Maybe I got to go to the back for that. Page 185. Let me just show you because I got it right here. The Old World paper embossing folder is retiring. And I love this one. I love the texture that it adds, and it's on sale. It's just 10% off, but it's still a good one to have. It's got some really fun texture to it. My son's been helping me, and sometimes he's a little rough with sending this through the machine. So mine is a little bit curled, but it still works just fine. The paper is a specialty paper. So we've got some of these brass and gold foil accents. I don't have the whole pack here. It's a 12 by 12 paper. Some of the in colors, we've got Cinnamon Cider, Bumblebee, Misty Moonlight. This is Mossy Meadow. Just really, like I said, it's just so good for masculine cards. Well, this was one of the suites that we featured in our Vacation Stamping School Demonstrator training event last summer. And so I want to share those cards with you because I had some packets that were all ready to go. So I'm just going to like stamp these as they were designed. And if you're a demonstrator, you'll definitely want to mark your calendar. We're doing Vacation Stamping School again this year. It's going to be virtual. And it is planned for Saturday, July 17th. So it's a all-day demonstrator training event, and it's going to be awesome. We've been doing this 16 years. Last year was our first year virtual. Before that, it was in person, but a lot of the same things with the demonstration fair and business training. And I think we're going to do make and takes in a little bit of a different way. Tons of door prizes. Just, it's so much fun. It's an all-day thing. Place to gather and learn and share. It's going to be amazing. So mark your calendar. If you're a demonstrator, I will be sure to let you know when we get registration started. So let's do a little flashback to Vacation Stamping School last year, and I'm going to share those World of Good suites. So I had fun because I paired up with my mom, who's also a demonstrator, you guys know, and we designed projects together. So 2 of these cards are ones that I designed for our event, and this is one that Mom designed. So I'm going to start with hers, and then we're just going to make all of them. So these were the make and take packets, and everything was pre-cut, which is awesome for me because I didn't have to do any prep today. No. Okay, so here is what that old world paper looks like. Wow. The texture on it is just so incredible. I love Mom's idea. Let me get on my ink pad to sort of like distress and customize this a little bit. And so she used a stamping sponge. I had one out. I have cut all of mine up, and I thought I had a wedge that was ready to go. I don't know where it went. I'll just get a new one out. I think that one will be okay. Let me show you really quick how they come. They come like this. It's a package of 3, so they come round, and they're on sale. I cut them into pieces, and I actually cut them in half and then cut that into 3 pieces. So I get like 6 little wedges from one package. So I'm just going to kind of do what she did and take some of this is crumb cake ink, and sort of just sponge on the paper, the old world embossed paper, and that just sort of gives it like a distressed and old kind of feel. So it highlights the crinkles and the wrinkles on the embossed cardstock. So I just thought this was kind of a nice way. And I don't usually do this. I'm not like I don't usually sponge, but you can also sponge around the edges to kind of make that look old and distressed a little bit more. I love this embossing folder. If you don't have it, add it to your list. Plenty of time. You know, I've been really surprised. I've been watching the last chance list, and there have been things that have been selling out because everything's while supplies last, but I don't think I've seen any of the deals sell out yet. So there's like 125 if I counted right, and I don't think any of them have sold out yet. So you still have some time. They are while supplies last, so don't wait. Make sure you get the ones that you want, like before they go away, because then you'll be sad and you'll be sending me a note and you'll be like, oh, I missed it. And I'll be like, I'm sorry. That's really sad, but I can't help you. So don't wait. Don't be sad, because I'll be sad too, but I won't be able to do anything. Okay, next we're going to use some black. Let's grab that off the floor. And this one says, you make the world a better place. So this stamp set is really great for making sure that my stamp is centered, because sometimes my sticker is not. Like that looks a little off center, but always make sure that your stamp, and then you can go by the black. My little tip. What was I saying? Oh, this stamp set, let's try it again. This stamp set is really great for like graduation, retirement, just, you could even do, well, I think you could do birthday cards with that. That's better. One of the accessories in this suite are the antiqued corners and slide elements. Okay, so these are really fun. So we're going to use 2 of these little antique corners to sort of highlight the sentiment here. And were those in the, did those come out of the bag? Well, maybe not. I'll take them out of the container. So I don't remember if Mom used glue dots or the liquid glue. Honestly, I have not, I haven't really used them a whole lot. I'm going to use some liquid glue and add these just inside the corners, and then I'll let this dry while I work on the rest of the card. Sorry. I have to concentrate with the glue so I don't make a mess. I just like the way that kind of highlights it. Okay, so then, oh, we need to do some stamping. That's right, we're gonna do the quill pen. So let's get that out, and then also the little ink jar. So we're gonna do the quill in crumb cake. And we're going to do the jar of ink in black. And there are dies to cut these out. So we're going to get Lucy out. She is going to help us get those die cut. Let's put this aside. Let's see, what did I do for the inside of this? Oh yeah, let's stamp that while we've got the stamp out. I'm going to do the quill, and then in the black ink, I really made an effort when we were designing these cards to use every single stamp in this set. So that is the goal. I just used this one, and then of course those 2, and we used You Make the World a Better Place. And so let's see, for the inside, you know, this one I'm gonna not have an inside sentiment. Okay, so let's get Lucy out and let's die cut these pieces. If you haven't met Lucy, she's my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and she handles all my small jobs. And these dies fit in the mini, so we're gonna get those out and line those up. Now the magnetic plate, you may have seen it in the catalog. There was some issues with the magnetic plate, and so it was pulled from the product line, and that includes the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So if you are having problems with your dies staying put, you can use washi tape, or sometimes I just use like a Post-it note, because with that removable adhesive. And these are so small, I feel like I need to hold them down. Okay. Send it through. Go, Lucy, go. Okay. I can reuse my Post-it notes for the next time, because it did not cut them since the cutting side was down. All right, thanks, Lucy. We'll call you back up in just a minute. All right, let's put the dies away before we lose them because, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm not calling it lost yet, but I have misplaced the tiny bow tie from my Hey Birthday Chick dies. You guys, like, it's like tiny. I'm trying to see if I have one close by that I can show you that's die cut. Here. This die, it's missing. It's tiny. I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to stay positive. Like, it's got to be around here somewhere. But I'm nervous because Thomas does die cutting on the floor for me. The good news is that we haven't vacuumed in a long time. So it didn't get sucked up in the vacuum. But I don't know. I'm worried it's stuck in paper that got discarded. Okay, I'm not going to cry. I'm going to hold it together. Let's move back to our card. So we have some distressing, right? Some different ways that we're distressing this card. And one of them is going to be, we did the embossing folder, we did the sponging, and now we're going to do a little tearing down the side. And you can, if you want, do some more sponging here. And then these are going to kind of layer. So you're going to have the old rolled paper, and then it's going to be torn and then like showing the map underneath. I think I am going to just sponge a little more. Oh, I think that's the one I had out originally and I lost it and it was back in the bag. So this is just going to kind of color and highlight that torn edge a little bit. Yeah, so I cut the, I don't know, I cut it. The problem is I left it out and I didn't put it away. That is, that's what it comes down to. I left it out and I didn't put it away, and that's why it's missing. So be kind to your dies and don't let them get lost because they don't know the way home. Oh, I feel like we're getting really serious here. It will turn up. It will be fine. All right, layering that over. Gosh darn it. I started to line up with the top, and then as soon as I pushed it down, it moved. There. Okay. All right, our card is coming together. Isn't it wonderful? This is going to go right here, and then we're going to layer those. And then for this, I'm just going to do, this is linen thread, and I'm just going to add like some loopy loops. I love the loopy loops. And I'm going to have them be in the corner, and that's where the pen, the quill thing. So let's do a glue dot to hold it down. This is too big. It's too small for tear and tape. Tear and tape's too big. So I'm going to use a glue dot to kind of hold it in place. Let's do some adhesive on the back of this. In the corner. In hindsight, maybe you glue that down and then do your corners, but whatever, it's going to work. And then the mini Stampin' Dimensionals really work well for some small images like this one. So these fit nicely back here. I'm going to do this. Kind of coming. Oh, while I was stamping tonight, my my thumbnail cracked. I don't know what happened to it. Like a big chunk of it broke off, it was very sad, and I had to cut it really short. And now I can't peel things. Have to use a different finger. Okay. Peeling it up and bringing it, the whole thing up just a smidge. Okay, what do you think? Masculine card number 1 down. Oops, we forgot the inside. Do you guys struggle with masculine cards? I know I do, right? Like so much of what I have is like flowers, like we just did. And so it's good to have some options that have kind of a different feel to it. So let's keep going with these kits and make these up really quick. So this next card is going to go super fast. And look at this. I have these envelopes. Julie, remember your, oh, there's those. Let's stick them in the container. I just talked about stamping envelopes to match. So let's follow through and stamp them to match. Tonight is going to be about matching envelopes. Let's do our quill like that. So for this one, let's do the world. I think that was the right one. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. No problem. No problem. I'm gonna do this on this little piece. Adventure awaits. Let's do that in the black. And then one of the colors in the designer paper is this Misty Moonlight, which is the new in color. Oh my gosh, this ink pad needs to be re-inked, I think, is the problem. Better. Adventure it waits. That is I'm debating because I really needed it to be higher for one of the elements. But maybe it'll be okay. Okay, for this one, we're going to do the compass in Misty Moonlights. I'm going to do some in here. And congratulations on this new beginning. Again, I'm going to make sure it's centered on the block. Not so much worried about the sticker so that I can use the block as my guide for stamping straight. So stamping with the block. Oh, hair. What is that? Oh, it's underneath the stamp. Good grief. Okay. It's going to go on the inside. Oh. Okay. Let's try that again. Boop, boop, boop. And I'll be a good girl and get my scrap paper out. Off the edge, 2, 3. Misty Moonlight card base. Congratulations on this new beginning is going to go on the inside. I just sent some welcome packages to some of my new recruits. Had to catch up a little bit because I got behind. So if you joined during February and March on my team, you've got a package coming your way. The congratulations on your new beginning reminded me of that. Have you thought about joining as a demonstrator? Now is a really awesome time to join because you get to choose brand new stuff in your starter kit if you want. You get $125 worth of stuff for $99 plus tax, and then you get a discount on all your favorite things in the new catalog when it comes out. And as a demonstrator, you'll be able to access the PDF of the catalog right now. Yeah, that's exciting. It is pretty amazing. You know what came in the mail today is my demonstrator copy of the catalog. So if you're a demonstrator, the bulk catalogs that Stampin' Up! Sent out are starting to arrive. I'm in Illinois, and I was kind of surprised to get it already, but super excited. So I thought it was going to take a little bit longer. So if you didn't get an on tour package and you're just waiting for your regular catalog, it is coming. It's coming soon to a mailbox near you. This is the brass foil sheets, which were new and are now retiring. Boo! And I don't know, maybe I should add it up here. Originally in my design it was down, but I did not space, maybe I didn't space it well. We'll see what we think up there. Maybe you'll just tell me it looks terrible and I'll tear it off and you'll laugh at me. That has happened. Going to just cut, oh, mother. Okay, let's clean our finger. This is apparently a very juicy Misty Moonlight. So let's give that a second to dry before we cut it out. Okay. I was starting to say I don't have a small circle punch anymore to cut that out. You could use a die. I'm just going to fussy cut it as soon as it dries. Okay. So we're going to set this aside. We're going to cut it out and then we're going to put it over here. Originally, it went down here. So what do you guys think? Should we keep it down here? It's just, there's not a lot of room. Or should we overlap the globe a little bit? Is that just weird? I don't know. I know I need a circle punch, but there is not one that is this small. There used to be. This is a 1-inch circle, and I still have that punch, but it's not in my stamp room. I thought it was down where the girls have their craft space, but they said they could not find it, which leads me to think they need to clean their craft space. So we're just gonna fussy cut it, and it's gonna be just fine. All right, let me see what you guys say. Keep it down, lower. Yeah, down is fine. And I'm so glad, Lynn, that I make you feel better for having messy hands, because you know, I'm a messy stamper. Is this too low? Like, oh, I don't even know. I needed to make this whole bit lower. Adventure awaits. But that doesn't work up there either. Nope, it doesn't. Okay. We're going to put it down here and we're going to angle it, and I think it'll be good. Like that. Yep. You guys agree. I knew you would. I'm worried this still isn't dry, so I'm trying to be really careful. I'm just not patient. I should wait more, just in case. Okay, ta-da! Adventure waits. Congratulations on this new beginning. Card number 2 with the World of Good. You guys, have I convinced you yet? It's so good. You need this one. Let's make another card. Maybe I shall convince you yet that you need this. Beautiful World stamp set is what we're using. And this is Early Espresso. Got some crumb cake going on here. Another piece that was done with the 3D Old World paper. embossing folder. You guys need this embossing folder. You need it. It's so good. I'm just gonna I'm centering this piece. It is smaller, like it doesn't go all the way across, and I kind of like that it's a little bit different. We have a envelope, that's what that's called. We're gonna stamp, we got 2 globe images here. One is the one, and the other is the other one. I'm sure there's a word for it. I'm not thinking of it right now. Hemisphere is not right, is it? Because that's like the northern hemisphere. No, oh God, forget it. I can't even try because I'm gonna just you can laugh at me. I messed it up. Okay. On the scrap paper, we are stamping the globe, and then we're also going to stamp the stand. There's probably a fancy word for a globe stand besides globe stand. Do you know what it is? I don't. Awesome. And while we've got this out, we are going to stamp the words. Oh, it's already got a banner cut too. Look at that. I was on it. Life's a beautiful journey. Let's make sure it's straight on the block. And ink it up good. Perfecto. For this one, I get to use from that antiqued corner from this set, antiqued corners and slides. We're going to use the ribbon slide. So this is the faux suede early espresso ribbon, and it fits perfectly through the ribbon slide. So I'm just feeding it through like that. Looks like a belt buckle. Kind of cool. And I'm going to wrap this around the cardstock. So this is a piece of Mossy Meadow cardstock, and it comes back over here, and let's just do some, I think this will hold it. Let's wrap that back around. Kind of going low and to the right with it. Okay. What is this? Oh, that's for the inside. Where's the inside? I think I need to cut a piece of cardstock for the inside. This goes here. And because I've got this ribbon, I just want to like make sure that it stays down. So I'm going to use tear and tape to glue this down, and I'm gonna like overlap the ribbon ends just to really like make sure that they stay down and don't pop up. So this tear and tape is going to make sure that the cardstock doesn't come up because it's nice, strong, sturdy adhesive. Okay, so those wrapped around the edges. Then we've got this for right up here. And I don't think I'm going to use tear and tape again. I'm not going to use dimensionals because I want to use dimensionals under the globe after we die cut. And this has got a lot of texture going on between the layer of cardstock and the texture here. So I'm using tear and tape again to make sure that it stays down and doesn't pop up because the adhesive is not strong enough. Now we're going to die cut. We're going to get Lucy out. All right, ready, Lucy? It's time for you again. And we're using these two, the outline dies. Now while I've got this out, let me show you some of these awesome dies that come in this set. So you've got some detailed globes, 2 of them, 1 for each side, whatever they're called, and then a larger globe stand. We used those earlier to die cut the stamped images. There's like kind of that swirly that would go with the quill. And then, oh, this is really cool. Well, so this one is like, it cuts like vents into the cardstock. And then this one, oops, what did I just pop off? Oh, the quill. This one, can you see? I think I've got a card that has it die cut. Okay, here's one. It's actually upside down though. Yeah. Okay, so here's what it looks like. So it like etches this into the cardstock, and what the numbers are coordinates, and the coordinates are all of the Stampin' Up corporate offices around the globe. Isn't that cool? So we've got corporate offices in Europe and in Australia. I'm not sure how many in Europe. I know the warehouse that ships is in Germany, but there's probably offices in England as well, and that would make sense. So Riverton or Salt Lake City, and then maybe there was one for Japan too. We were in Japan. They closed that market, but the other ones are probably in the South Pacific and in Europe. All right, I think these are big enough that I can hold them steady without the Post-its. But if you need those Post-its or washi tape, then you can use those to hold your dies down. Do you notice, can you tell on camera, I'm using vanilla cardstock for these cards instead of white. I like vanilla. Sometimes it's a little more gentle. It's not so harsh on the eyes. And I think maybe there was some, perhaps we had some designer paper parts that were vanilla. I'm trying to remember why we chose the vanilla. I think it's just a nice color to go with some of these like neutrals, right? Like the green. I always think of using the vanilla for the fall, you know, to go with some of those fall colors. I'm using Stampin' Dimensionals under here, spacing these out, and then probably some minis on this smaller piece. How are we doing on time? What time is it? Sometimes time goes fast. Oh, it's already 8:15. And sometimes it goes slow. This is when I feel like this. Our hour has gone really quickly. Don't you feel like that? But this is our 4th card, so we've got a lot done. Yes. Yes, exactly, Carla. She says vanilla makes it look not so newish and more vintage. I totally agree. Okay. Let's cut. I was so good. I don't know how it got left out of this kit, but I just need a piece for the inside. So I want to stamp that. Since this cardstock is so dark, I'm going to just cut a piece for the inside of the card. So this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I told you I wanted to use all of the stamps in the set. So let's see what we haven't used yet so that we can use that on this card. I literally put them all on blocks, and we've got them all except this one. Oh yeah, that's good. Thank you for being part of mine. So life is a beautiful journey. Thank you for being part of my journey. And then I have this piece of the designer paper that we're going to put on the bottom. So this is 1 inch by 5 1/4. Oh gosh, I don't know. Oh, this is brown and this is black, so I'm going to use the green side. So that's going to go down at the bottom. And then let's do some early espresso for the words. Thank you for being part of mine. And if I may get a little mushy, thank you for being part of my journey. This has been so much fun to share over the last year. I mean, really, it's been longer. I've been sharing these weekly videos since January of 2020. So it's really been more than a year, but I feel like, are you guys taking all this time? Recently, I feel like this milestone of a year that we've been at home. And like I said at the beginning of the video, my kids, all 4, were in school today in person for the first time in 392 days. And so there's just so much reflection, I feel like, on everything that's happened over the last year. And part of that has been these weekly videos, and they have really been a positive thing for me, as I hope they have for you. And so just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in every week. Thank you for being part of my journey this last year through the pandemic and through the craziness of staying at home. I'm so glad that I can share a little bit of crafting and stamping with you, and that you allow me to share that with you. Okay, here's our trio of cards with this World of Good suite. Life's a beautiful journey. Thank you for being part of mine. And then we've got the blue one, Adventure Awaits. I kind of feel like that about 2021, right? Like, tomorrow I get my first dose of the vaccine, and I just feel like this hope for the new year. Like, and it's April, I realize, but I do feel like it's sort of like a new year. Like this, because it's been a full year now, this feels like a new year. Like, Happy New Year. Like, we're really starting into a new journey, a new thing. You make the world a better place. You really do. You make the world a better place by sharing your love of crafting and stamping and sharing your cards with others, with your family and friends. I can't decide. You guys tell me, do you have a favorite of these cards? Have I convinced you about the Beautiful World stamp set and coordinating dies? Don't forget about the designer paper. Let me just show you again really quick, because like all of this is on sale. The World of Good specialty paper, the sponges, we use those. The antiqued corners and slides. This we didn't use tonight, but the World of Good Memories and More card pack. The brass foil sheets. The the world map dies. Hello, that's insane. Like, at that price, so you'd be I don't even know what to say. Like, it'd be crazy not to get the dies at this price. It's just nuts. And then there's that perennial flower punch we use, the Artistry Blooms paper that we used. Oh my gosh, that polka dot ribbon. I love that ribbon. And then the Floral Essence. So we did some masculine cards, and then if you tuned in late, you missed. We did do a feminine card with that Floral Essence. So we made 4 cards tonight. We were very busy. And you'll notice we remembered to stamp our envelopes. So now we're all set to send these cards. Now, if you want to get in on these deals, guys, it's not too late. Go to juliedavison.com/shop. All these deals, there's 125 of them, up to 75% off. And usually, I'm going to say this, usually when it says up to 75% off, there's like 2 things that are 75% off. There are literally 40 things that are 60 and 75% off. 40. Okay, like the deals are insane. So don't miss out. Everything is while supplies last, but everything on this flyer is still available. I'm going to post the link in the video description. So if you haven't seen this yet, you can check it out. You can do all your shopping at juliedavison.com/shop. Thanks for joining me this week. Be sure to come back next Thursday, 7:10 p.m. Central Time, for another episode of Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. And as soon as I get my hands-on time to play with the new stuff. I will be sharing a quick look or two video in between now and then. So stay tuned and come back for more videos and more awesome projects. Thank you for being you, and thank you for being part of my journey and for making this world so beautiful. Have a good night and a great weekend. Bye.